Welcome to the Owatonna Today Show, your community connection since 1991. Thank you so much for joining us on this Monday, January 4th, and I'm Linda Karnauskas, your host. We have a great show for you today, very informative, and we're going to first start out with the Music Boosters of Owatonna and Company, and then a little later on in the show, we're going to visit with our own Senator, Vicki Jensen. As a reminder, we would appreciate your input about what you would like to see on this program for topics and guests. Do you know of a special event happening in our area? Do you know someone who deserves some special recognition for what they're doing for our community? And if so, please contact us either by mailing us at Owatonna Today at charter.net or calling the show's producer, Leanne at 390-5751. Now, we will take a quick break for some messages from our sponsors, and we'll be right back with our first guest, the Music Boosters of Owatonna. Stay tuned.
I'm Dan Branstead of Carlson Branstead and Company, Certified Public Accountants. We support the Owatonna Today Show.
Owatonna Public Utilities, real people, real reliable, real progress. Making life a little easier day after day, taking pride in our community, listening to what you say, a voice you can talk to. We're growing with you in mind in everything we do. Owatonna Public Utilities.
Greetings from the Steele County Historical Society. We invite you to visit us and enjoy your county's history at the History Center and Village of Yesteryear. Check our website for current exhibits and monthly programs.
Welcome back to the Owatonna Today Show, your community connection. Well, we're here with Rebecca Rand and the Music Boosters of Owatonna. Rebecca's the secretary, and then we have three lovely gentlemen here. We have Tyler Kain, and we have Luke Berkley, and Reed Tucker. Welcome, good morning.
Morning.
Reed, why don't you start out by telling us a little bit about yourself and how you got started in music?
Well, I'm Reed Tucker, and I play the baritone at the Owatonna Concert Band, and I also sing bass in the choir. And I started off with music relatively young. I started playing piano, I don't know, like third grade, second grade or something like that. And since then I just kind of added on to what I've been doing, so I just started playing baritone in fifth grade. Then I sang in the choir in high school, so.
You enjoy that, I can tell, and I bet you're a great bass.
Yeah.
And Luke, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
So I'm Luke Berkley, and I'm a French horn player here in town. I play with the symphony orchestra, and I play in the concert band. I've played in all-state orchestra, and I've played in the all-national band in Nashville. So I play whenever I can, and I got started because my mom was a band director and still is, so I kind of just keep going with music.
It sounds like you're very talented to be playing in this orchestra. Reed, why don't you tell a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, so I am Tyler, and we in our family we do this all the time, and I started piano like Reed when I was in like third grade or so, and then I actually played clarinet in fifth grade, and then I switched over to saxophone, which I play now in the concert band like these two guys, and I also play in the jazz band, and that's a lot of fun. I sing in the choir as well, in the same section as Luke, so. Yeah.
And as time goes on, do you find it more enjoyable every year? I know it gets challenging with new music. How do you find it? Do you find it challenging, or just enjoyment, or?
Yeah, I mean, the leadership is there, so I get to be the head of some other people and get to improve on those leadership skills, so it's enjoyable.
Great.
Yeah, and the music does get more challenging, but that's what I'm looking for. I keep going and searching for more challenging music and better groups to play that music with, so.
Yeah, I'm at the same spot as Luke, where it's very fun to be able to play harder music and grow in that.
Well, it's wonderful to hear about the talent you have and the hard work you put in. And as a result of the Music Boosters of Owatonna, it's great to see 3 success stories here and how their support has enabled you to excel in the music world. And of course, here we have Rebecca Rand, and Rebecca's the secretary for the Music Boosters of Owatonna. And why don't you tell a little bit about ourselves and what you do?
Well, Music Boosters is a volunteer organization, and we exist to support the Owatonna Public Schools for excellence in music in our program. And quite a few years ago now, I'd say 2010, we were approached about why don't we put on some kind of concert and silent auction to raise funds in addition to help with not just donations to the public schools to support all the different programs, but also for students that might have scholarships needs for All-State, for traveling, for choir opportunities that present themselves. And so we thought that idea was wonderful, and so back in 2011 was our first silent auction and concert, and we raised $3,600, and we were quite pleased, so we decided to do it again, and the next year we raised $5,000. And the next year we raised $8,000, and this last year and the last couple of years we've raised $9,000.
So basically, your proceeds go to the elementary schools. How are they dispersed?
They're dispersed evenly for elementary, junior high, high school, and of course at the high school you have it divided between the choir, band, and orchestra. And then there's funds set aside for the scholarships when those opportunities present themselves. A couple of years ago we had a big Okie choir organization come and host in Minneapolis, and so some of our elementary school students tried out and got into that singing opportunity, and so Music Boosters assisted them with scholarships. Every year we give scholarships to the All-State students, both in choir, band, and orchestra. And so it's a way to help defer costs so that more and more students can, as like these fine gentlemen, can continue and pursue opportunities in music education.
So we're talking about the fundraiser. You're going to have the fundraiser, and that's why we're here today. So what is the fundraiser? What's involved?
Well, it's this Saturday, and at 6 o'clock, people could come and look through the silent auction items. We have Timberwolves tickets, we have a sleigh ride, we have pop concerts, front row seats, so that you wouldn't have to go there early and wait, and we have a family fun night basket, all kinds of items. So you can look through at 6 o'clock, but the actual concert starts at 7. Tickets are $10 for adults and $5 for students. You can purchase them at the door or at Tone Music or Kotke Jewelers. And what normally happens is people come early, look at the silent auction items, and maybe make a bid or two, and then think about it when the concert starts. And then during intermission is the last time to go out and make your silent auction bids, and so that you're able at the end of the concert to pick up your items. We'll have it all set so they can.
So we're having a fundraiser. We've got these 3 handsome fellas here today and talented. So what is your function going to be at the fundraiser?
Yeah, so we're part of a singing group, all guys, and we're singing, or there's 7 of us, there will be on Saturday, and we're singing an a cappella song.
Well, that's funny, because when you said you were a bass, I've watched, what's that TV program where they do the a cappella, and I thought, wow, I bet he's a rhythm guy, huh?
Yeah.
So you're in a singing group,
Yep.
and will you be doing anything else for the fundraiser?
I'll be in the jazz band. We're doing a couple numbers, so yeah.
Okay, what kind of numbers?
We're singing, we're having Mr. Harris and another Tim Van Gelder sing with us on a couple Michael Bublé songs. So.
Michael Bublé. Wow, I think I'll get a ticket. So
Yeah.
That's great. Well, that's good, bringing up the modern. And what else are you going to be doing with the fundraiser?
I don't know if I will be doing anything else. I might be helping out with either sound or stage crew or whatever, but we'll have to see. There's another week.
Well, you look like you enjoy it, and you enjoy being, and enjoy what you do there. Now, where is the fundraiser?
It's at Owatonna High School and in the auditorium.
Okay. And the other question I was going to ask you is, what is your favorite thing about Music Boosters of Owatonna? What is your passion with that?
Well, I would say it's how it uses the Owatonna community spirit toward a very positive goal. I mean, people enjoy music, and it's a part of their lives all their life, and it's something the community really is proud of, the fact that we have such a fine music program. And so it's a rallying point, I feel like, and it's enjoyable to be involved with a group like that.
Now, as secretary, you obviously have a function with this fundraiser. So tell us about some of your duties, what they entail as a secretary, if you could.
Well, I usually take the minutes of all the meetings, and then when we approach our yearly fundraiser, I help with the publicity, getting the word out to the newspapers and different places so that people are aware of the fundraiser and silent auction. And so it's been a really enjoyable time, but it's been hectic at Christmas. It's pretty hectic.
Now, is there a committee or a group that supports the boosters? I mean, you can't be doing this all by yourself.
Oh no, we have a president, Tanya Paley, and we
Okay.
have vice presidents, Wes and Jody McMains, and we have our treasurer, Amy Kain, and Barb Howell.
Okay. Well, I can't thank you enough for coming today and sharing, and it was a delight to meet you. And let's go again over the details so we can get some funds raised for your fundraiser. And why don't you give us the information again, where it's at and what time, tickets, who to contact?
Okay, it's this Saturday, January 9th. The concert starts at 7, but the silent auction starts at 6. You can purchase tickets in advance from Kotke Jewelers or Tone Music, or you can purchase tickets at the door. They're $10 for adults and $5 for students.
Okay.
We will also be having Starbucks coffee and Costa's candies during the concert.
And Michael Bublé songs.
That's right.
Well, I want to thank you so much for coming by, and we're so glad you joined us. And don't forget about the fundraiser. It really goes for a good cause, our Music Boosters of Owatonna. We're going to take a short break and hear a quick message from our sponsors, and we'll be right back with our very own Senator Vicki Jensen.
The majority of fatal home fires happen at night when people are sleeping. Smoke alarms give you time to escape. We recommend that you have a smoke alarm in every sleeping room of the house and on every floor in the common living areas. Smoke alarms should be tested monthly, and batteries should be replaced at least once a year. This is a safety tip from the Owatonna Fire Department.
Hello, I'm Glenn Mager.
And I'm Michael Mager with the Brickmager Funeral Home and the Medford Funeral Home. At Brickmager, we are privileged to have served the families of Steele County community for 118 years.
Whether you choose traditional burial or cremation, we promise the tribute your loved one deserves with the peace of mind that you require.
We are proud to be part of the Owatonna Today Show.
Hi, this is Barry Gillespie, president of ERA Gillespie Real Estate, where our pledge is to save you money, save you time, and simplify your life. And we're proud supporters of the Owatonna Today Show.
Hello, I'm David Einhaus with the Owatonna Foundation. Thank you to all of our donors who have helped make Owatonna a better place to live. Will you join us today with a financial gift? Owatonna Foundation is a proud sponsor of the Owatonna Today Show.
Welcome back to the Owatonna Today Show, your community connection. And we're here right now with Senator Vicki Jensen. Hi, how are you?
Great. Happy New Year.
Yep, Happy New Year to you. Welcome. And it's so nice of you to stop by in your busy schedule before the sessions start to begin?
Sure. But we do have a later start this year. We're starting on March 8th, and then the session will only be 10 weeks long, so it'll be fast, and we'll move quickly, hopefully, and get some things done.
Well, Vicki, for our viewing audience, how about could you let them know how long have you been a senator and a little bit about yourself?
Well, I live in Owatonna. My husband and I have an insurance agency in town, and I was elected in 2012 and started serving in 2013. So this is the 4th year in a 4-year term. So first term, but the last year in the first term.
And so you've been very busy.
Well, it's been quite an experience. You know, you can't really explain to people what it is like, because as a senator and as a legislator, you can put as much into it as you want, and you can work as hard as you want to get the results, and you can pick certain things that you like to work on, or that you think your district needs, or that people are asking you for.
And you know, you had to have a passion for it to run in the first place, and so you enjoy it.
Right. Well, I served on the school board, so I had an opportunity to see if that was something that I wanted to do or wanted to pursue. And I served as chair of the public policy at the chamber, and really have always been drawn to the policy part of how those words on paper are translated and interpreted, and then we have to live by what they say.
Mm-hmm.
To make sure that those outcomes are doing what we want, I think, is the hardest part of what I do. And it can change. You think, you know, you pass a law, but it has to be put into place by agencies usually that interpret it a little bit different, and that's why we have a court system available to kind of be that third party that says, no, I think this is what they meant, and I think this is how it works, and that's, I think, why our democracy works.
And the dedication to make a difference, because in the long run, that's what it's about. The laws are made, the rule, you know, the different committees, and hopefully it benefits as many people as we can, and it makes a difference.
And if there are issues or problems that are happening, we have to have legislators that are willing to listen and try to figure out if there are changes that are needed. And sometimes it's not a law that's needed, it's just an overview, oversight on what's happening, and making some changes that way. I currently serve on the Education Committee. I'm Vice Chair of Commerce, and I'm on the Transportation Committee, which for this next upcoming session, we'll be spending a lot of time trying to finish some of the work in the transportation area, trying to get a transportation funding package figured out, how that's going to work, and then a tax package. We never did pass one last session, so we'll be working on that in the upcoming session. And they really do go hand in hand, and I think it's important for people to understand that the tax policy is what makes sure we have enough funding, and right now we're sitting with a surplus, which makes it interesting, because there are a lot of people that believe that they need some extra funding. But we have to be careful too. I believe that we do need some property tax relief, so I'm hoping we get some of that in the tax package. But if we do too many tax cuts and not a good transportation, and use surplus money for transportation, we could end up in a deficit again. And so that's, I think, why we're taking as much time as we are on that particular issue.
That's good to know. You and I were chatting a little bit earlier, and you would like to mention the special session. If you want to explain to our viewers how that's coming about and why.
Well, and the governor had asked the legislature to take a look at if we could go into special session, and that means to have a session before a session starts on March 8th. And it would talk about, what they're talking about is 3 different topics. The first one is that up on the Iron Range, up north in Minnesota, we have about 1,000 people that were laid off in the steel industry, and we have a big issue in Minnesota with that, with some things that are happening nationally and internationally. So we want to make sure that the employment benefits don't run out for those people. So that's one issue. The other one is what's called Real ID, and that's, you might have heard a little bit about that, to get onto an airplane, a commercial airplane. Beginning in the year 2016 was the earliest that they could start doing this. You need a different driver's license to qualify to get onto the plane with your driver's license. If you don't have that as a state, then you would need a passport in order to get on. But they haven't started it at the federal level yet. But our concern is that because we passed a law that said that our Department of Public Safety, who issues the driver's license, can't come up with how they're going to comply with Real ID, which is a federal law. We're one of only a very few states that have not been in compliance with what's called Real ID. And the whole idea behind it was to make sure there's a database available that all states can access, and that they look the same, so that it's not as difficult when you go through the process of making sure you are who you say you are, and that they can check your, with just your driver's license. So we want to make sure and take a look at that. They've told us that they'll give us 120 days notice. So this will, and they haven't started the notice yet. So it's important for people to know that notice has not started. You're not in jeopardy right now, but Minnesota needs to take a look at it and decide if we're going to do this. If not, we have to figure out how people can get onto a commercial or international flight. So to be safe, a passport will work on any of them. Either way.
How long do you think that session would
It would only be a few days. There was one other topic that they're looking at, and I'm actually part of the working group that's looking at disparities with populations of color. And I think that might be an ongoing topic of conversation too.
Yeah. What other priorities once the normal session, once the regular session for 2016, what do you think are some of the priorities as you'll be looking at?
Well, I had a really busy 2015 session. I carried some loan forgiveness for teachers in shortage areas. I did the emergency funding we needed for disaster relief. I concentrated on trying to get some money for child advocacy centers into rural Minnesota. So there are a lot of rural issues that I'm going to continue that. I still had some bills that we were not able to, that I turned in last time, that I'm still going to continue to try to do. Some money for public infrastructure for rural. And there's a couple new ones. We had what's called a statewide procurement for health insurance for our medical assistance programs, and we almost lost South Country Health Systems, which is based in Owatonna. I've done some work on that, and I'm going to see if I can get some changes in the legislation to ensure that if counties decide to do county-based purchasing, that they're able to continue to do that. I'll be doing some work on that. That'll take up a lot of time. But one of the new things that I've been looking at too is in Waseca, when we had the student who was arrested for having incendiary devices and what could have been a very horrible situation, looking at what is called the attempt statutes in our current law, and if we're able to prove and get into court substantial steps. So he didn't do anything, he was preparing. But in Minnesota, we don't really allow an attempt charge to be filed unless they're on site or they tried and were not successful. Type of situation. So I'm looking at maybe next session I'll be able to do something about that and make sure that we have enough penalty for if you are caught with an incendiary device. Our penalties are not very, very strong, and I think that those could be increased as well. So some important issues that I'm really trying to work on.
And very diverse and require a lot of behind-the-scenes research and work. So,
but the transportation is the most important thing that I will be working on. I strongly believe we need a comprehensive plan. Just using surplus balances will not be a long-term solution for us. It's been proven in the past. We tried to do it in education when we made a change. That's how we created what's called a statewide levy, where commercial and seasonal housing is charged a property tax that goes to the state because we weren't able to figure out how to use that for education. It got pulled into the general fund, and that's how we pay for things, is out of the general fund. So I'm afraid if we use surplus, we will move it into the general fund. So I'll be fighting for that.
Well, you've touched on many subjects today, and some of them would interest some of our viewers. So how would they get in touch with you?
Well, come to Second Saturday. Every second Saturday of every month, I'm at the out to lunch in Waseca from 8 till 9. I'm at the Elks Club in Owatonna from 10 to 11. And then I am at the coffee shop in Faribault from 1 till 2.
And then online, there's a newsletter.
Online, you can, I have an email, my phone number, any of those things are available to you. And you can go right on the Senate website, and you can sign up for my newsletter even right on that website.
Well, I can't thank you enough for coming. It was such a pleasure to meet you,
Yes.
and for giving time to our town and our community and our county. And we appreciate your efforts
Absolutely.
so much.
Thank you.
Well, we're going to go and take a quick commercial break and hear from our sponsors, and then we'll be right back.
Amy Swain Hearing Centers is a proud sponsor of the Owatonna Today Show. I'm Dr. Amy Swain, and I want everyone to hear better. I'm Deb Gillard.
And I'm Shaw McNulty with Brookdale Owatonna Assisted Living and Memory Care,
where we provide optimum living activities to keep our residents engaged in life.
and we are a proud sponsor of the Owatonna Today Show.
Welcome back to the community. Welcome back to the Owatonna Today Show, your community connection. Thank you so much for staying with us, and we have some community announcements to go over with you. First of all, we have next evening's support group for caregivers assisting people with Alzheimer's or other dementia will be Tuesday, January 5th, 2016 from 6 to 7 p.m. at the Owatonna Public Library. 105 North Elm in the third floor small conference room adjacent to the Gainey room. Alzheimer's Association's caregiver support groups are designed to provide emotional education and social support for caregivers through regularly scheduled meetings. The support groups help participate and develop coping methods and encourages caregivers to maintain their personal, physical, emotional health, as well as optimally care for the person with dementia. For more information or to RSVP, please contact Deb Gillard at 507-676-0411 or dgillard@brookdale.com. The Steele County Society is pleased to announce children's programming for Thursday, January 7th at 9 a.m. and at 6:30 p.m. at the Lang Theater in the History Center. The theme for the day is Games of the Past. Come play some old-fashioned games, and kids will play games like hopscotch, clothespin drop, chutes and ladders, pick-up sticks, and other oldies but goodies. The History Detectives program is for preschool-age children and will meet at 9 a.m. The Time Travelers program is for kids in kindergarten through 6th grade, and their program will be at 6:30 p.m. These free children's programs are offered on the first Thursday of each month and is sponsored by United Prairie Bank and Fernbrook Family Center. Well, that does it for the show today. And please join us on Wednesday when we'll be with our Representative John Petersburg, our Minnesota House of Representatives, and we will be on site visiting with Julie Wood at the Birchwood Cottages. Take care and have a great rest of the day.